You tip the pouch into your palm and count again, because counting once wasn't enough to believe it. 4 ounces. That's what's left. Not 4 ounces of coin, not 4 ounces of grain. Salt. The only thing standing between the gash on your forearm and the rot that kills more soldiers than swords do. The only thing keeping tomorrow's meat from turning before it reaches your mouth. The next supply convoy isn't due for 6 days. You already know the math doesn't work. This isn't just about a wound or a strip of meat going green at the edges. This is the difference between marching out of this camp in 6 days or being left behind in it. Because in the Roman army, salt isn't seasoning. It's the reason your paycheck is called a salarium. It's currency, medicine, and preservation all folded into one small white grain. And right now, you don't have enough of it. Before dawn, you're already awake, because the man beside you never stopped groaning in his sleep. His leg took a spear graze 11 days ago. You packed the wound with a pinch of salt then, the way you were trained. Enough to sting, enough to keep the flesh from going soft and black. That pinch is gone now. So is most of what you had left. Your fingers find the pouch at your belt out of habit, the same way a hungry man's tongue finds his teeth. 4 ounces. You weigh it in your palm without looking, because you've done this every morning for a week, and you already know what it feels like when there's not enough. Around you, the camp is already moving. Men salting strips of meat on wooden racks, rationing grain, checking wineskins, none of it looking urgent from the outside. But you know better. Salt isn't rationed by an officer standing over you with a scale. Salt is rationed by your own hands, deciding every single time you touch it whether this wound or that meat matters more today. You press your thumb against the pouch one more time. It doesn't feel like 6 days worth. It feels like maybe 3. None of the men around you know it yet, but by the time the convoy is supposed to arrive, the meat in this camp will already be crawling with rot, and at least one man's wound will have gone past saving. By mid-morning, you're kneeling over the meat racks with the quartermaster, and he's doing the same math you did at dawn. He holds up a strip of pork, sniffs it, and doesn't like what he smells. Without enough salt to cure it properly, it won't survive the heat of the next 2 days. So he makes the call fast. Eat it today, all of it, whether anyone's hungry or not, because tomorrow it'll be garbage. You eat more than you want. Everyone does. It's that, or throw 2 days of rations into a pit. By midday, you're back at your friend's side with what's left of your ration, and this time your hands hesitate before you use it. You know exactly how much is in the pouch. You know exactly how much a leg wound needs to heal clean. The numbers don't sit next to each other comfortably. You use it anyway. You always do. By afternoon, the pouch is lighter than your hand wants to admit. Stop for a second. Picture your kitchen cabinet right now, the salt shaker you refill without thinking, that costs less than a coffee, that you'd never once imagine running out of. Now picture that same substance deciding whether a man's leg gets to stay attached to his body. That's not a metaphor. That's Tuesday for you, right now, in this camp. Day 3. The pouch is almost weightless now. Your friend's leg is worse. The skin around the wound has gone shiny and dark at the edges. The smell alone tells you the salt packed in 11 days ago isn't holding the line anymore. He needs a fresh dose, more than you have room to give. You split what's left between his wound and the last of the meat that hasn't already been eaten in a panic. It's not enough for either. It was never going to be enough for both. By nightfall on day 4, the convoy still hasn't come. Word moves through camp the way bad news always does, quietly, then all at once. 2 other units are in the same position. One man, 3 tents over, has already lost the fight in his leg the way your friend might lose his. You have almost nothing left in the pouch. Not a pinch. Not enough to matter. 2 days still stand between you and the convoy. The convoy arrives at dawn on day 6. Late by half a day, but it arrives. Fresh sacks of salt are cut open and distributed by the fistful, and for the first time in a week, you watch a man pack a wound without measuring the grains first. Your friend keeps his leg. Not everyone in camp is that lucky. You will never stand in a supply line waiting for salt to arrive before a wound closes over for good. You've never rationed a seasoning against a man's life, or eaten spoiling meat because the alternative was throwing away 2 days of food. For you, salt is free at every restaurant table, sitting in a shaker no one refills more than a few times a year. For a Roman legionary 2,000 years ago, that same small grain was the line between healing and losing a limb, between eating and starving quietly at the edge of a war camp. Somewhere in the ground beneath a forgotten Roman camp, there's a soldier who measured his own survival 1 pinch at a time, and never once knew the word for what he was doing would outlive him by 2,000 years.